The day has finally arrived. I have behind me in these two boxes the Harry Potter collection from Goose Creek. My name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel, and today I have an episode of my lit review series. That's where I unbox new product, share with you the scent notes and my first impression. I'll also show you the wax, the lids, the labels, the wicks, and then I'll cut the video, go out and burn all these, test them, and come back after the cut and share with you information about strength, throw, how the scent evolves, and any potential burn quality issues I'm seeing with the candle. Keep in mind that this is a first impression video. This does not mean that these candles will not come to life. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 burns for a candle to fully bloom. It also will tell you nothing about the post halfway point, which is usually when things like sooting, dudding wicks, all the other problems that can come with candles evolve. Also, I will be testing all of these in my stepdad's living room. I'm here in Michigan visiting with the stepdad. It's medium-sized living room, not open concept, so it's different than my normal testing space. So just a few things to keep in mind. Let me get this first one opened. There are 2 boxes here because I also had them ship Skating with Friends to me. They had shipped my replacement to California. It's there already, but I knew I wanted to get that reviewed and didn't want to wait until I got back. So that's in here too. There may be one other one. I don't recall, but let me get this opened. Okay, so in the first box, I have 2 of the Harry Potter candles. I also want to highlight too, originally there were 11 candles in this collection. I looked on the website this morning and now there are only 10. And it looks like the one that sold out is one of the Hogwarts candles. There were 2, same scent with 2 different labels, and it's the one I think with the actual castle on it. The other one that has kind of like a family crest on it, by the way, that's Red. That's my mom's cat. You gonna help? He's gonna be my co-star today. The one that has like the family crest on it is still available. I'll still show you both, but just know you can only get the one at this point. So the first one I grabbed is the Marauders. Those of you who are Harry Potter fans, you will know. I didn't watch the movies, didn't read the books. I have no idea what I'm saying. Map candle. This is really dark, y'all. I'm actually really struggling to see the contrast. I don't remember it looking like that online. Let me just pull the picture up real quick. Yeah, it's a lot brighter on the website. I'll go ahead and pop a picture of it up. I feel like you can see the contrast. It looks more red. The gold looks more outstanding. This is actually a much darker color. It's more like a brown red or a maroon. And then I feel like the gold foil, even when you get it in the sun, makes it difficult to make out. And then when it's not in the sun, it kind of blends in with the background. Not a big deal for me because I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but for those of you buying them for the labels, keep that in mind. The contrast is really difficult to see. So you have the front here with the Harry Potter, the Goose Creek label here at the bottom. The wraparound has red boot prints with some gold foil stars, and it looks like, I don't know, is that a compass? As well as, it looks like, is that a wand maybe? I'm not sure what this over here is supposed to be. Almost looks like a wand, but I can't be sure. And then at the bottom, on the back, we have the Harry Potter Warner Brothers emblem. Gold lid on this guy. Beautiful red wax, and those are pretty ropey, kind of a medium ropey wick. Scent notes on this one are ancient paper, weathered wood, tobacco leaf, and golden amber. I think I like it. First off the bat, it feels a little bit light. And then I feel like it's a little bit cologne-y. The cologne vibe is almost giving me like Bath & Body Works mahogany. And I don't know if that's coming from the weathered wood note in here. I know wood notes can often come across cologne-y, like a driftwood or an oak note will sometimes have like a cologne-y vibe to it. Or if that's the amber coming through, it could be both. It's not bad. It's just enough to raise my little cologne flag, which often causes me some anxiety because I'm not a huge cologne fan. I'm really sensitive to cologne scents. We'll see how it evolves on warm. As long as that stays toned down, I think it will be okay. The tobacco note is nice. It's earthy. Feels a little bit like dirt or like a very earthy, dirty vibe to it, but it's also very sweet. almost gives me like bourbon vibes. It's not totally boozy, but in that same like wheelhouse of just being kind of masculine and earthy and sweet. I do feel like I'm picking up on a raw wood note, which could also smell like, this is saying ancient paper, but it almost smells more like a fresh book, like a new book. So definitely woody, earthy, a little bit dusty or dirty, and a little bit cologne-y. I think I like it. We'll see how it evolves. Right now, I'm going to say it's just okay. And the other one in this box, if I can get it out of here, is Hogwarts Express. Not quite as dark, but again, I feel like, I mean, I'm in direct sunlight. There's light coming in through the window, and I still feel like it's a little hard to see this stuff. So this one, beautiful blue label with blue accents. I'm guessing that's like a Hogwarts golden ticket there. Again, not familiar with the book or the movies, so I have no idea what I'm talking about with this one. Same gold lid. Ooh, beautiful blue wax. I like that, y'all. And the same wicks on this. Scent notes on Hogwarts Express. It smells good. I don't even know what's in it, but I'm already liking it. Whipped vanilla, smoked cedarwood, and cashmere musk. Oh, this is hitting on a scent memory for me. What does this smell like? Is this Marshmallow Fireside? This reminds me a lot of Marshmallow Fireside from Bath & Body Works. And also reminds me a little bit of Vanilla Bean Noel. Definitely vanilla, definitely marshmallow. I think it's actually giving me even more marshmallowy vibes than what Marshmallow Fireside does. So that whipped vanilla is super gooey. The smoke note is reading woody as well. So I feel like they nailed the smoked cedarwood note. It does feel like cedarwood vibes like you'd get from a raw wood, like in a cedarwood closet or in like hamster shavings. But the smokiness is really nice and kind of helps to tamper. Cedarwood can feel a little bit sharp. It really helps to balance that out, and it's just a beautiful smoked wood note in here, but it's not too smoky and it's not like liquid smoke. It almost smells like you've already burned a piece of cedar wood and the fire is out and you're smelling it after it's been charred. And then the cashmere is just adding this beautiful warmth that smells a little bit musky. And it does say musk, so that makes sense. Yeah, and the Vanilla Bean Noel vibe I'm getting is because the vanilla note in here also has that. Vanilla Bean Noel has the same thing. I don't mind it. I know some people don't like it, but it almost gives like a petroleum jelly vibe to it. There's something a little bit like oily about the vanilla. I don't mind it, but some people don't like that. Yeah, I feel like if you took Marshmallow Fireside, ramped up the marshmallow, and added a hint of Vanilla Bean Noel, that's what I'm getting with this one. So far, I like it. I hope it throws, because Vanilla Bean Noel can be a little bit questionable in terms of strength and throw. Let me just get this stuff out of the way here. And I'm going to try to open this. I don't have a blade, y'all, which is why I cut the video. And sometimes it's just weird to sit here and watch me pick at a box with my nail trying to get the tape to open up. But I'll see if I can get it here without cutting the video again. I think I got it. Alright. Let's see what's next. Now if you're new to Goose Creek, their boxes come in a 4-pack, 6-pack, or 12-pack. They sent me a 4-pack and a 12-pack with this shipment. You almost always get an insert trying to sell you different products. This one has the soap and the wall diffuser on it. They do ship with, as you can see, 2 empty crates on the top, and then you have your crates of candles below that. I saw somebody on the subreddit complaining that their candles came broken, and they were like, oh, it doesn't even say fragile on the box. This company is whack. It does actually say fragile on the box. Right here. So, not saying the company's not whack. They have some issues they need to work out, but I think if you're having broken candles arriving, it's probably your UPS driver, not Goose Creek. I actually don't get that many broken candles with Goose Creek, and they usually come well packed in my experience. So also they're really great at replacing stuff that's broken. Just reach out to them. They'll send you a replacement. That's actually why I have the Skating with Friends candle in here. That wasn't because it was broken. It was because they sent me, what was it, raspberry rosé instead, and they sent me a replacement. So their customer service is good. You have to do a little back and forth with them to get what you want, but they always work out. They work with you and you will get what you want. This one, ooh, this is pretty, y'all. Order of the Phoenix, Secret Society, established 1970. This one, the contrast is better. I like it. It's so pretty. Kind of a teal color, and then you have the phoenixes all over it, along with the gold foil accents and more of the kind of teal star accent. Same Harry Potter label there at the bottom. Same gold lid. Matching wax in a beautiful blue-green. It's almost like an aqua seafoam almost. And these are also medium. Ooh, this one smells good too. Scent notes are white sandalwood, vanilla cashmere, smoked saffron, and worn suede. Ooh, this one is complex and gorgeous. The warm suede is really nice. It's actually reminding me a little bit of the leather note that's in Colin's Return. And that's what I get first. It's not as strong as the leather note in Colin's Return, but it's very just like soft and subtle and earthy. And then I'm definitely getting the vanilla cashmere next. It feels like just a classic cashmere, warm and cozy, a little bit sweet from the vanilla. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Sandalwood and cashmere, y'all, can smell so much alike. They're both warm and creamy. And I do get a creamy element from this as well. But I think the sandalwood, if there is a sandalwood fragrance there, it's getting consumed by the cashmere, and I'm really just getting like a warm, creamy note instead. I don't get smoked saffron in here. There is definitely like something that is earthy and a little bit masculine, but to my nose it reads more like a suede note and not like a smoked note. So it could be possible that the smoked note is there, but it's kind of just amplifying the masculine aspect of the suede that's in here. Yeah, maybe I do get a hint of saffron. Saffron is interesting. It's, in case you don't know, it's a spice that you can buy. It's very expensive, and that is because each little strand of saffron is the part of a flower, like the inside of the flower petal that sticks out. And it's like where all the pollen is, and those are hand-picked. So each time you pull out a saffron strand, that came from a single flower. Pretty expensive. I like to crumble mine up and put it in my like basmati rice if I'm making an Indian dish. I like to drink it in my tea. It does have a scent. I don't even know how to begin to describe it. It kind of feels like in the same wheelhouse as like a cardamom, but it's not as potent, not as strong. It's much more subtle. And I do feel like I'm getting it here. But it is very light, and it is almost completely devoured by the warm suede note in here. I like this one. Masculine without being cologne-y. Alright, next one is the Huffelpuff. Oh, this one's cute. I don't even know what the Huffelpuff is, but I like him. He's adorable. And I really like the kind of checkerboard pattern on the wraparound with the yellow and stars and stripes. Lots of beautiful detail. Very vibrant. And I like how it's contrasting with kind of this like grayish purple color. Same lid. Woo! Bright yellow wax. Look at that, y'all. And these are also medium ropey wicks. Scent notes are buttered pastry, warm honey, sweet berry jam, and whipped vanilla. It's a good gourmand, y'all. Whoa! Butter, butter, butter. Looks like butter, smells like butter. And like the mutant butter, you know, like the kind they put on the popcorn at the movie theater. Wow, yeah, you need to like butter. This is definitely buttery pastry. It almost smells like, If you've ever made croissants, and if you haven't, I'm sorry, I geek out on baking and cooking, so I make these references, and I know most people have never made a croissant, and I only did it once, y'all, because layering is difficult. It smells like you have spread the soft butter on the raw dough, and it is just overwhelmingly buttery. It doesn't even feel like a baked butter to me, and it is dominating anything pastry in here. It's dominating everything. I don't even feel like I'm getting much of this whatever the sweet berry jam is supposed to be. It's in there, but it is very subtle, and it feels fruit ambiguous. I don't know that I could identify which berries that's supposed to be. On cold, extremely imbalanced. I'm getting just hit with so much butter up front. A little bit of what feels like a creamy vanilla. It almost feels like a frosting to me. Like you could convince me this is a buttercream that you didn't put enough sugar or frosting in. And then a very subtle hint of something sweet jammy. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm going to try it. It's weird. It intrigues me. I hope some of the other stuff other than the butter comes across on warm. Okay, Gryffindor. Also a really cool label. Red with the gold, and then more of the checkerboard. Red and yellow. Vibrant as the last one was. They did pretty good with these seams, y'all. I mean, this lines up. It's not, doesn't keep the pattern going, but better than some of the seams in the past. Same lid. Beautiful red wax on this one as well. And then I'm looking, that almost looks like there's cores in there. I think that's core wick. It doesn't look like your standard core, but there are clearly holes in the center of those wicks. Scent notes on Gryffindor are embered hearth, polished woods, sweet tobacco, and battle-worn leather. And this is where you start to see some redundancy with this collection. So we're seeing tobacco again, we're seeing wood again, we're seeing leather again, and we're seeing something smoky or embered in here. So we'll see how different this one is. It's actually pretty different. Why do I smell cinnamon? It might just be my brain playing tricks on me, because a lot of the embered candles that I like, especially holiday candles that would also be red, have like a barky embered cinnamon in them, but something about this embered note is reading like cinnamon to my nose. There's no cinnamon in here. And it could also be the sweetness of the tobacco. I feel like this tobacco is sweeter and less earthy, and that makes sense. It does say sweet tobacco, but it ends up feeling a little bit like I'm getting cinnamon gum vibes from this. There's no cinnamon note in here. But yeah, I'm getting cinnamon gum. Not super spicy hot. It just feels cinnamony to me. So weird. I don't know that I'm getting much of the leather. There's definitely like an earthy quality to the base note in here that you could convince me was leather. It's not as strong as the suede note that's in the other candle. It just adds some complexity, and I'm getting something barky, but again, it's reading like cinnamon to me, to my nose. Yeah, it's pretty. I like it, but I don't know that I would think of those scent notes when sniffing it on cold. Yeah, I like it. Let me see where I want this one. I think I'll put that here. Okay, the next one is Ravenclaw. I love ravens, y'all. So we got the raven on the front. Love the blue. Also checkerboard. Kind of a grayish color, so blue and gray. Good seam on that one as well. Same gold lid. I think that's just some dust on there. Yeah, I got some scratching, but nothing too serious on the lid. More beautiful blue wax, and these are pretty thick ropey wicks. Medium size. Ravenclaw here we go again. Worn pages, aged leather, cypress wood, and sandalwood incense. So we've got sandalwood again, we've got leather again, and we have pages again. And a wood note. This one smells a lot like the Scooby-Doo candle. I'm burning it right now in my October rotation. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it, but I will pop a picture up here of it. It reminds me of that one. I think, did that one have... I don't remember what the scent notes were on that. I'll put the scent notes below. Like, that's where my brain went immediately. And I think it's because I almost feel like I get moss in here. There's nothing in here that would suggest there's a moss note. But I'm smelling moss. Yeah, there's something earthy. I'm sure it's the cypress wood, but to my nose, it's reading as moss. The worn pages, I can get, it's actually nice. It reminds me of like the Barnes & Noble vibe scent that's in the bookstore cafe candle. It feels bookish. Something a bit sharp in here. I don't know if that's the cypress or if it's coming from the leather note. Yeah, it's pretty. It feels earthy. I feel like it feels a little bit mossy. It feels a little bit like paper, like book with moss, with just like a deep, warm earthiness that you could tell me was leather and sandalwood, and I would believe you. Also, as someone who sometimes doesn't like incensey candles, I can tell you that on cold, it's not a strong incense vibe. There's a hint of it in here, but I'm mostly getting the warm pages and just beautiful earthiness. Not the same as the others. Again, redundant, but it's not, you know, it's not exactly the same. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Slytherin? Slytherin? I don't know how you say it, but it's a snake anyway. I love snakes. Snakes are such awesome creatures. They get a bad rap because of our culture. You know, snakes are mostly deaf, mostly blind, and they sense with their tongue, and yeah, they don't have feet and arms. Like, it feels like a real struggle, and yet they have evolved and survived. So I have a lot of respect for snakes, and plus they're just so soft. I've always wanted a pet snake. Checkerboard, again with green and gray and black. More snakes. Another Harry Potter badge there. Same gold lid. And this one has darker green colored wax. Also ropey wicks, but again, these have holes in the center. They're not core, but they're a different wick than the others, other than that other red one. Scent notes on this one are Black Lake Waters. This was the one I was most interested in. Black Lake Waters, Fog-Laced Dungeons, Woodland Embers, and Smoldering Amber. What? Okay, first and foremost, I smell coffee. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what Black Lake Water is supposed to be. Maybe that is a coffee note, because it kind of looks like Black Lake Water. Yeah, I get like coffee, and I feel like I smell leather, which is also not a note in here. And there's something creamy. I'm so perplexed. These scent notes make no sense to me compared to what I'm smelling. Does it smell like a dungeon? No. No, it does not. Dungeons are like dingy and musky and a little bit dirty. Yeah, I smell earthiness for sure. I'm getting a coffee vibe from this. It's creamy. I swear I'm smelling leather. There's nothing in here that would suggest there's coffee or leather, but that's what I'm getting on cold. Y'all, this is where, as a reviewer, just to pull back the curtain and share with you some of my anxieties as a creator, this is where I get a lot of anxiety around sharing my impressions with you all. Because, and by the way, I haven't watched anybody else's reviews. I've been staying away from them because I don't like to be influenced by what other reviewers are saying. So I don't know what anybody else is saying. Maybe I'm right on par with them. But this is always the point in my reviews where I get really anxious of like, oh no, am I leading them astray? Like, am I telling them things that aren't right? And what if I tell them this smells like coffee and they get it and it smells nothing like coffee? So just know I'm having some anxiety around the fact that what I smell isn't matching the scent notes on this collection. Oh, there's Punky. Hi, Punk Punk. You gonna come say hi? Yeah. Another one of my mom's cats. She's the cutest. She is a punk too. She will sass at you. I really, really like this candle, but it doesn't smell anything like the scent notes. So I hope I'm not leading you astray, y'all. Watch other reviews, and if you've been here long enough and you trust me, then go with your gut, you know? But I like this one. Actually, this might be number 1 right now. I like that one too, though. All right. Gotta make more space for my ranking. I'm running out of room back there. All right, next is the Golden Snitch. Again, struggling with the contrast on this one. Golden green, almost like a forest green. Really pretty. Same gold lid. Wow. That popcorn butter yellow wax on this one. And these are more of the medium ropey wicks. The scent notes are fresh cut grass, morning moss, damp earth, and bright bergamot. Oh. Oh, that's really pretty. It's very bright, very springy. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yes, okay. The fresh cut grass note in here is just like it's like the same grassy note that's in the Graveyard. It's the Scooby-Doo candle. I love that one. I have like 5 of it. Is it Graveyard Whispers? I'll put a picture up here. I don't remember what it's called. It's that same grassy note. The way the bergamot and the moss is playing in this ends up a little bit sharp, pretty bright. It almost feels a little bit perfumey to my nose. It's not bad. But it's interesting how it's playing with the like damp earthiness of the grass and the moss note that's in here. There's like a dewiness to it, a brightness to it, and just a beautiful fresh earth note. That is so pretty. Definitely giving me spring vibes, like I want to burn this in March. Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous. These are all pretty unique, like in terms of different seasons and like different times I would want to be burning stuff. I like it for that reason. This collection. Okay, what do I have next? The Deathy Hallows. Also a dark green, but I think darker than the last one. Not quite as forest. This is almost more of like a dark sage. I have no idea what any of these symbols are, but if you're a Harry Potter fan, I'm sure you do. It's like a triangle with a circle in the middle. I got nothing. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it has to do with the Deathly Hallows. Gold lid, same as the others. Ooh, the wax is pretty. Kind of a purplish gray. And these are more of your thin, stiff, ropey wicks. I like the way this one's smelling. Ancient cedar, forest pine, eucalyptus mist, and forbidden moss. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Oh, that's so pretty. It's very, very like pine forest, woody, earthy, fresh. And it is well balanced. I am getting what feels almost like fir-like. So you're getting the cedar wood, you're getting piney fir type vibes. That is perfectly in tune and well balanced with the eucalyptus note in here. Eucalyptus can really overpower and get too high in the nostrils and feel kind of menthol-y. There's a hint of that menthol vibe in here, but it's playing really nicely with kind of like the sweet sappiness of the pine and the woodiness that's in here. Oh, yeah, that's gorgeous. It's sweet too. The sappiness is sweet. The moss note in here, I feel like it's just adding like more of a deeply earthy note. It's not your classic moss, which can be a bit cologne-y or perfumey to me. It's almost like this almost feels aquatic. It's like aquatic pine with eucalyptus. Yeah, I really like that one, y'all. Beautiful. This would be a perfect January rotation for me. I like fresh, woody without feeling holiday, and this is hitting in that same vein. Earthy, piney. It doesn't get too funky with like a balsam note. The fur is beautiful, balances really nicely with the eucalyptus. I'm gonna grab the other one. Yeah, here we go. So the two different Hogwarts. So there's the one with a castle. This is the one that's not available anymore. So that one, I'll show you the label, but just know you can't get it. I figured this one would be really popular because it's kind of like, you know, it's the thing in Harry Potter that even me, who's not a Harry Potter fan, I know what Hogwarts is. So, also just a cool label with the full moon in the background and the castle. Blue wax on that one, gold lid. These are the same wicks, the kind of like medium ropey. I'm going to sniff and burn this one. And this is the one that has the kind of like, it looks like a family crest on it. So same scent notes in these two, but this is the only one left that's available in the Hogwarts fragrance. Red label, very difficult to make out what the symbolism is on that. Gold accents. The crest on the front. Same gold lid. This lid has been through it. This one's got some damage to it. You can see all the scratching. So if I were gifting this, I would be very sad. Red wax. And those are the same wicks as the others in the collection. Hogwarts is crackling hearthwood, whispering white woods, worn leather, and spellbound pages. So we've got pages again. We've got leather again. We've got crackling ember smoke, right? And we have more woods notes. Is it different? Yes. Yes, it is. Ooh, I like this one too. This is a stellar collection so far. There hasn't been a single one where I'm like, ugh, what am I? Well, maybe the butter one's a little weird. Yeah, the raw wood note in this is pretty strong. I'm guessing that's either coming from the white woods or the hearthwood, or it could be more of a paper vibe from the pages. It literally smells like you're standing next to a pile of fresh cut wood. There's a sweetness in here. Where would that sweetness be coming from? It could be from the leather note. It almost feels like a honey sweet or an amber sweet. There's nothing in here that would suggest, unless that's what spellbound is. I don't know. Some of these words are so subjective. Yeah, very natural wood heavy. It feels a little bit paperish, a little bit like dusty paper. I'm getting something that smells a little bit sweet, almost like a sweet amber. Very subtle though. Yeah, that's really pretty. The sweetness and the woodiness in here is reminding me a little bit of Moonlit Slow Dance. They're not the same. It is not the same candle. But like that same like woody sweetness that you get in that, or it's reminding me a little bit of this one. Yeah, I'm getting more of the leather note in the back end of the scent. Yeah. A little bit dank, a little bit funky from the leather. But beautiful, earthy. Ooh, I like that one too. Y'all, I thought there was one more left, but it's the peanuts. Duh, I told y'all I ordered it and it was going to be in here, and I was like, ooh, there's another one. No, it's the peanuts skating with friends. So I'm going to be reviewing this one while I'm here too. So watch out for that. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see this in your feed. I did already do the full peanuts collection. I'll go ahead and pop a card up there for you in case you want to click over and watch that. Be on the lookout, subscribe, sign up for notifications if you want to know when that comes out. Let me put these in rank order. I need to make some room because there's so many, and I need to do another sniff on these. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. Whew, exhausting to rank these. On cold, I like them all. They're all really good. I don't have any that I'm like, I don't like this. There's a couple that are a little bit weird, a little bit questionable. That's probably where I'll start. So number 10, because remember there's 11, but 2 of them are duplicates. The Marauders map, I think I'm going to put in last place, and that's just because there's something in here that's cologne-y and a little bit like perfumey to me. I don't know if I'm going to like how that turns out on warm, so I'm going to hold that in 10th place for now. Number 9, honestly, y'all, I think when I burn this, my love for it's going to grow. But right now, that butter note is just a lot. And that's going to be the Huffelpuff. It's so buttery. But I have this gut instinct that I'm going to like it on warm. Number 8, I am giving to the Ravenclaw. And by the way, I really like the rest of these. I have no complaints, but you have to rank them. I think there's a moss note that I'm picking up on. There's nothing in here that says moss, but it feels like a moss note to me. I'm not always a fan of moss. It reminds me a lot of the current Scooby-Doo one that I'm burning, which for that reason I'm like, this feels like it's been done before. So that's a little bit lower down on the list. Where are we at? Number 7. I'm going to do Gryffindor. Again, I like it. But I swear I'm getting a cinnamon note in here. I swear I'm getting cinnamon. I like it. It's just a little bit weird given the scent notes. I'm hoping it changes and evolves. I think I'm just thrown off by the scent notes matches the cold impression. And where are we at? Number 6 is Order of the Phoenix. On second sniff, I'm feeling like this one's a little bit, it's so creamy, it's almost powdery, and I'm guessing that's the sandalwood and the cashmere playing together. I really like it, but it's just so creamy, it almost reads like a powdery candle to me, and I'm not always a fan of powdery scents in general. Number 5, I'm doing Deathy Hallows. I do like the label on that one, though, even though I have no idea what that means. This is a beautiful forest scent. I think you could burn this at Christmas time, but I like it for January. It feels like a January scent to me, nice and clean and crisp and woody and foresty and piney. Number 4, I'm going to do Hogwarts. I love the woody vibe of this one. It's just gorgeous, that raw wood note in here. And again, I still feel like I'm getting something almost honey-like or amber-like in there. It's a little bit perfumey. That might end up getting bumped down. Number 3, I'm going to do the Golden Snitch. Love me a green grass scent. So this was always going to be at the top. So fresh, so bright, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Not the right season, but I love it. Number 2, I am doing the Slytherin. Y'all, this is a coffee candle. Black lake water is coffee. It's coffee. Yeah. I love it. I almost want to put this as number 1, but you know, I have a ton of coffee candles and I really like the marshmallow fireside vibe that Hogwarts Express is giving. Yeah, and Vanilla Bean Noel. It's just a beautiful blend of those vanillas. I think there's gonna be some battle with these on warm, and I think we might see some upsets and some surprises because I like them all so much. They're all good. All right, I'm going to cut here, go spend hours with these candles and get some warm impressions for you, take some notes, and I will be right back after the cut to share with you my findings. I cannot wait to dig into these, y'all. I'll be right back. Alright, y'all. I wasn't wrong when I predicted there would be some upsets and re-rankings. Some of these really evolved on warm, and the ones that shifted and evolved on warm were ones that I felt like they evolved for the worse. So I liked them better on cold than I did on warm. So there are definitely some shifts in the rank order, which is why I'm always glad that I do a first burn so that I don't mislead you with my cold impressions. I'm going to start where I always do with number 10. Number 10, this one, where did it start, y'all? This one really, really bumped down. It was number 2 in my cold impression, and it's the Slytherin. Okay, I stand by the fact, even as I smell it this afternoon, that this smells like coffee on cold. I get coffee in here. However, when lit, there's absolutely no coffee vibe in this at all. No coffee note. I actually woke up this morning and was like, ooh, this will make a good morning candle. The stepdad likes coffee candles in the morning. I'll burn this one. And then I was like, what is this? This is not a coffee candle. This, if you like deeply earthy, literally dungeness, mossy, dirty, petrichor vibes. Virgil, I'm thinking of you. Taylor over at Candle Coven, I'm thinking of you. You would like this candle. On warm, this evolves to, my number one note is cement accord. I get like a wet cement vibe. I don't really get it on cold, but on warm, it is very pronounced. It smells like wet cement. I feel like I'm picking up on a moss note. I feel like it is a little bit dingy, a little bit atmospheric. It would be perfect for Halloween if you wanted like a spooky, kind of creepy Halloween candle. But y'all, absolutely no coffee on warm. I don't know why I smell coffee on cold. On warm, there is nothing there. This is a pretty strong one too. I think not a powerhouse. I would label this as more of a medium leaning towards strong. A lot of these are kind of middle of the road in terms of strength. But this one was strong. Stronger than I would have wanted, given that I'm not too crazy about the scent. Throw was good. It had good projection. It could definitely toss around the room, and you got a sense of it definitely further away, so it can project, but it also felt a little bit elusive. I feel like if I was standing right next to it, I didn't get a strong sense of it. I could smell it, but not a strong sense of it. It was actually stronger further away. And it was a little bit of a creeper. It was actually going up and around the stairs over here behind me. So it's got good throw, good projection, but a little bit elusive in the room, good strength. So if you're looking for an earthy, dungeness, it actually delivers on warm. Totally evolved, not to my liking. Okay, next on the list, number 9, I'm going to do Ravenclaw. This one bumped down one. This was number 8 on cold impression. Warm impression, I'm going to bump it down to number 9. I will also say that if you wanted to avoid redundancy, both Slytherin and Ravenclaw give me the same sort of vibes. They're both kind of dark and mysterious and earthy and a little bit dirty. Ravenclaw, I feel like, and again, there's not a moss note in here. Unless you want to, you know, consider cypress wood being mossy. I swear I get moss in Ravensclaw. It gives me very strong Halloween vibes. I feel like I get dusty paper. It feels like an old book to me, but it's almost like dank and dusty at the same time. So like if you left a book in a spot that's got quite a bit of humidity and it's been there for like, 20 years. It kind of smells like that to me. So you do get the pages note, you get a dusty paper, you get kind of a sweetness in here. And I don't know where the sweetness is coming from. The incense does come out more on warm. I wouldn't say it's too incensey, but it's definitely present, and it reminds me a little bit of the Happy Hanukkah candle from 2024, not the jelly donut one. The one last year in the blue wax that smelled incensey. Gives me that kind of vibe. I like it better than Slytherin, but I think ultimately if I were to, know what it smelled like before I bought it, I probably wouldn't pick it up. I don't think I'm going to gravitate towards these last two, and they probably will end up in a D-stash because they're just not my vibe. But if you like incensey, earthy, kind of dark, you'd like this one. I will note in the burn footage here, I didn't realize it when I was showing y'all the candle on cold, but the wicks are a little bit off-centered on this one. Nothing to be too alarmed about, but it is off-centered, and these wicks burned really hot with this one. So just something to keep an eye on. I think it'll probably be fine. I've only had really one issue with a Goose Creek candle being too close to the glass and melting the label, but it's something I would definitely keep an eye on. The scent was strong, maybe this one is the strongest. Strong leaning towards medium. Wasn't a powerhouse, but very close, and it had good throw. It filled the space, it wasn't elusive. So if you're looking for a stronger, less elusive, earthy, go with Ravensclaw. If you want one that's more dungenist, go with the Slytherin. But for me, neither one of those are really anything that I'm interested in. Okay, number 8 is going to be, get it out of my box here, Hogwarts. And y'all, this one dropped way down in the list. And I'll tell you why. So originally I had this as number 4. There's something about this candle on warm that to my nose reads medicinal. And I know when I smelled it on cold, I said there was something in here that almost smelled honey-like. And there's nothing in here that would make me think there's a honey or even like an amber in here, unless that's what Whispering White Woods is. But there's something that comes across as medicinal. It's almost like, yeah, it almost smells like a Hall's cough drop to me. That's the best way I can describe it. It's not completely off-putting, but it's just enough for me to be like, ooh, I don't know if I like that, right? There's something about it I'm not sure I'm enjoying. So it smells a little bit medicinal. I feel like the ember note that's in here, or the crackling hearthwood, reminds me a little bit of the kind of smoky wood note that's in Christmas Cabin. I like Christmas Cabin far more than I do this one, but it gives me that same sort of energy. The leather in here is actually really nice on warm. It's very warm. It's very soft. I feel like it's earthy. It's not too overpowering, and it does blend well with both that medicinal vibe as well as the crackling hearthwood vibe that's in here. This one was a little bit lighter in terms of strength. I would say medium, leaning towards light. Also had a good throw, but felt a little bit elusive. I did move this one out into the kitchen dining area of my stepdad's house because the living room, it can be kind of drafty and stuff will carry upstairs, it will carry out into the hallway. So I did shift it out into the kitchen dining room to see if it was less elusive, and it was. So I think if you have a space with less airflow, it probably would feel stronger and better throw in the space. But if you've got a room with air space and airflow, it's gonna project and it's gonna disappear into rooms that are surrounding the space where you're burning it. So something to keep in mind with this one. This one was also really slow to pool, and I noticed the wax on this, and I don't know if it has to do with the color, but it was really gummy. That's the best way I can word it. It was like sticking to the side of the jar and acted kind of like it didn't want to let go. So this one bumped way down, but really only for that kind of medicinal vibe that I'm getting from it. Otherwise, I think it's a gorgeous candle. Number 7 also really slid down on the list, and y'all might be surprised by this because you know how much I love fresh grass scents. The Golden Snitch is bumping down to number 7, and that is because there is something in here, and I'm guessing it's the bergamot and the way it's playing with the moss, that on warm ends up reading almost like a very sharp floral or like a daisy. When I smelled this on warm, I thought of two things. Number one, if you liked the new, it's the Peanuts one that's floral, that has a daisy note. If you liked the daisy note in that, I think you would like the way this one smells on warm, as long as you also like fresh cut grass. The other thing I thought of is Charity Rose, because her husband loves fresh cut grass and she loves florals, and I kind of felt like this might be perfect for the two of them because you get what feels like a sharp floral with fresh cut grass. There's not a floral note in here, but the way that this reads, it ends up feeling like, yeah, it ends up reading to me almost like a daisy note. And the grassiness is still there. It's definitely dewy and fresh cut, but I feel like it's overpowered by the sharp notes that are in here in a way that surprised me a little bit compared to how it smells on cold, and isn't something that I prefer. I'm not big on floral candles, other than rose, really. This one, medium strength, leaning towards strong. I feel like this one's going to get stronger as it burns. I feel like the more wax pool, the bigger the wax pool got, the further I went into the melt cycle with this first burn, the stronger it got, which usually that means it's going to continue to kind of bloom and build up with future burns. It also had good throw. It filled the space. So if you're looking for a really nice spring, fresh cut grass daisy vibe that has some strength, pick this one up. Again, a little bit overpowering for me, and that's why it got bumped down so far. 6? Yeah, we're at number 6. The Marauder's Map is number 6 for me. This one bumped way up. So originally I had this in last place, and I think that was because it smelt a little bit cologne-y from that amber. On cold, it still does. It still smells cologne-y to me on cold. However, on warm, when you light this thing up, I feel like the cologne note goes entirely away. I don't get anything that smells too cologne-y. The amber isn't too bright or too sharp. The woody note that's in here and the paper note, what is there? There's weathered wood and ancient paper. Both of those ramp up quite a bit, so you do actually get a sense of both like a raw wood as well as what smells like a book. Like you get book vibes from it. It's not dusty books like the previous one, but more of like a fresh book, like a new book at the bookstore that you're thumbing through. So it has a beautiful woody paper note that comes out. In general, I feel like this candle is very warm. It feels very comforting to me. That paper note feels really smooth and maybe a hint dusty. You have that raw wood that feels really earthy, and then you have an amber that's in here that ends up really toning down on the coloniness and feels just a little bit sweet. So it's like warm, woody paper sweetness that isn't too overpowering. It's not too strong. I would say it's solid medium maybe a medium leaning towards strong in terms of strength, and it had really good throw. This also, by the way, not only did it fill the space, but it was a creeper. It was crawling up the stairway over here. So solid performer, good fragrance. I like how it evolved on warm. And then the only other thing that I will note is this one also has pretty off-centered wicks. You've got one that's pretty close over here, this one. Everything is kind of leaning towards that one wick. Again, probably not a big issue, but I noticed it while filming. Okay, 5 also moved up the list. This one was originally number 7 on Cold Sniff. This is the Gryffindor. This one I probably would rank higher, but it felt a little bit light to me. I actually struggled in the space to smell this one, so I have it categorized as light leaning towards medium. It also had issues with throw. It was elusive. I feel like I could smell it in pockets, so like if I moved towards the front entrance, there was like a pocket over there. If I moved over by the stairwell, there was a pocket over there, and it kind of crept out into the hallway. So it's got good projection, but no staying power in the space. I didn't try this one in the kitchen. I probably should have. Ran out of time, basically, right? If I want to get this review up today. So I think this one's further down on the list because of the strength and throw issues with it. It's not, you know, do or die, make or break, but it's enough to make it so it's number 5 instead of, say, number 3. This one is actually really pretty on warm. I still swear I get like cinnamon bark vibes from this. I wrote down cinnamon bark vibes and cranberry cherry sweet. Something in this tobacco is giving me fruit elements. It's not quite like a bright cherry. It feels more like a maraschino, or like one of those cherries that are in like the chocolate covered ones. It feels a little bit cranberry-esque. So whatever the tobacco note that's in here is a fruity tobacco, not a floral tobacco. And I do like the way that is playing with the leather note that's in here. And the leather is very smooth, very subtle. It doesn't overpower the other scents that are in here. It's just a really nice, like kind of barky, again, I feel like there's a hint of spice in here somewhere, fruity, earthy combination, well balanced. So I really enjoyed this one. Again, I would bump it up higher, but had some issues with strength, and that might come to life. Hard to know until I get through to the second or third burn. And I think this one's the first one where I would say confidently, like I would pick this up. The other ones, it's like I'm glad I bought them as a part of the collection. I'm glad I experienced them. I'm glad I got to review them. But I don't think I would necessarily be immediately drawn to them. I did like the last one too, but I feel like I have so many that smell like that. Okay, number 4. Yes, number 4. Now this one, you know, if you don't want to avoid redundancy, I would go with this one or the Hogwarts Express, and that's the Order of the Phoenix. This one bumped from number 6 to number 4 on the list, and that's because I actually really like it on warm. However, it's vanilla, it's overlap with the Hogwarts Express. I'll tell you what the distinction is. The distinction is the cashmere that's in this one. So this has both a cashmere and a sandalwood, and I feel like those in combination end up making this candle smell, it almost smells like a vanilla deodorant to me. I know I mentioned on cold I get a sense of powderiness. That really ramps up on warm. It almost feels like a stick deodorant too, like a white stick deodorant that's kind of powdery and leaves residue in the pits. You know what I'm talking about? Vanilla scented. That's the energy that I get from this. It's not bad. It's just I'm not always crazy about powdery candles, and I feel like I'm getting too much powder from here. The cashmere is really sweet. I feel like you get a hint of that saffron. The suede in here feels a little bit, it almost feels woody on warm. It is suede and it is earthy, but it makes this feel a little bit like more of like a raw wood background note. And that might just be the way my nose is picking up on it. It definitely loses some of its suede edge when you light it, and I feel like the vanilla powdery notes ramp up and the suede tones down. But I do still really like it. It also had good projection. Again, this was one that was creeping up the stairs, but a little bit elusive. And then in terms of strength, I would categorize this as a medium, probably leaning towards light. But again, I feel like this one might ramp up. The longer the wax pool went, the longer it burned, the stronger it got. So it's possible this one will bloom more. But this one is very similar to the Hogwarts Express. The difference is this one has a powdery note to it and that kind of saffron and suede note that distinguishes it from Hogwarts. But if you only want one vanilla, you could choose between one of those two. Number 3, this one bumped way up. The Huffelpuff. Now this one on cold, I had it ranked as number 7. No, number 9. It was way down the list. I had this ranked as number 9. But y'all, on warm, like I said, I predicted I might grow to like this one. I do. I actually really like it on warm. It's a little weird. It is extremely buttery. But I think I enjoy it. On warm, you really get butter. And I mean like legit, it smells like melted or soft butter that you would use in baking. And you get vanilla. I get absolutely no sense of sweet berry jam. And I don't get a pastry note at all. I also don't get honey. To me, this smells like you made vanilla buttercream frosting, but you forgot to add a sweet element. It literally smells like butter and vanilla, which doesn't sound appealing when you frame it that way, but I think it actually works. There's like a richness, a creaminess, a savoriness to the butter, and then there's just this beautiful kind of like earthy sweet from the vanilla without being too cloying, without being too overpowering. Yeah, I can see myself burning this with like a donut fragrance, or if I have a vanilla cake fragrance or a buttercream, this would make an excellent companion. But I also would burn this one by itself, or I would burn it with Kringle's Scary Movie Night and ramp up some of the butter that's in that one. You could do this one with pretzel candles. This one is versatile. It has a lot of options, and that's why I bumped it up. And plus, I just kind of like it. This one, medium, leaning towards strong in terms of strength. And the throw on this was just a little bit elusive. I feel like it was stronger the further away you were, but you could get a sense of it if you were near it. So that one I think was the big upset of the group. That was the biggest surprise. That one and Slytherin. It's like they switched spots almost. All right, number 2, bumped up from 5, Deathly Hallows. Y'all, this one is phenomenal. It's beautiful. If you like forest scents, you like pine, moss. I didn't get much moss. If you like sappiness, woodiness, walking through a forest, you want this candle. To me, in my memory bank, as I was burning this, this reminds me of Bath & Body Works had a White Barn candle last winter called Evergreen and Fir. That's what this smells like. That's, I mean, like almost 1 for 1, in my opinion. Reminds me of that. You get like a sweet, sappy pine note. You get a sense of the woodiness from the cedar wood that's in here. It's sweet, it's sharp, it's woody. It's just a beautiful winter pine scent that doesn't go Christmassy. There's no berry note or cinnamon or embers or, any of those other, no balsam. So it doesn't go Christmassy. It doesn't have vanilla in it. It's just like a perfect pine scent that also doesn't have eucalyptus in it. It's just straight up pine. And if you liked Evergreen and Fir from Bath & Body Works, I think you'd like this one. Medium strength. Solid medium, and had good throw. Filled the space, wasn't elusive, wasn't a creeper, kind of just a solid performer. I think it would do better in a smaller room, but for me, I enjoy this. I'm going to put this in my winter rotation in January. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And then number 1, Michelle, I sloshed this one around while it was still wet. The wax is a mess in here, so I'm going to try to not show you the inside. This one is Hogwarts Express. Now this one kept its place, and that is because it is exactly as described on cold. Nothing evolved, nothing changed. I feel like this is Marshmallow Fireside with a dash of Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath & Body Works. I don't know that I'd say, perfect match 1 for 1, but if you like either of those candles, I would say if you like Marshmallow Fireside, for sure you will like this. And if you like Marshmallow Fireside and Vanilla Bean Noel, you would want this candle because it's so similar. Or maybe you don't because you already have the Bath & Body Works ones. I feel like I get Marshmallow Fireside vibes first. It's ooey gooey marshmallow with like a hint of smokiness. It's not like smoky. It just feels like almost like a charred wood vibe, but it is so light and so subtle in the same way that it is in Marshmallow Fireside. And then you get that element of Vanilla Bean Noel, which is like a little bit sweeter of a vanilla. It's not quite as marshmallowy. And then it has that kind of like petroleum jelly, oily vibe to it, like Vanilla Bean Noel does. So exactly as it smells on cold, it evolves on warm. It had a good throw, filled the space, and I would say this is a solid medium. For me, this one was stronger than my Marshmallow Fireside from last year. Marshmallow Fireside, I thought I remembered last year having more strength, but when I was burning the one that I picked up at Summer Sass, I'm like, is this it? It had very little scent. And this one I feel like scratches that itch, but has a little bit stronger of strength. It also had good throw. It filled the space. And it wasn't elusive, it didn't creep, but you definitely got a sense of its presence in the room. I will say that with this one, it was slow to burn, so it took a really long time to come to full wax pull. And also, y'all, the wax is absolutely gorgeous. I love the deep blue wax. All right, y'all, that is my ranking on warm. There were some upsets for sure. I'm going to go watch everybody else's reviews now because I've literally been seeing in my subscription feed, it's like everybody's posting Harry Potter reviews, and I wanted to watch them so badly, but I didn't want to corrupt my analysis. So now I want to go watch and see if people are experiencing the same stuff that I am. Also, please share with me in the comments if you can validate any of the things I've said, or even if you've had like a contrasting experience and you want to put that in there. I always welcome comments that contradict what I've said because I want collective information for not only myself, but for my viewers as well. I like to let people know what the possibilities are with any candle or collection from Goose Creek. If you have any questions for me about any of these, put those below. I will gladly answer those for you. And if you liked this review and you want to see more lit reviews from Goose Creek, give me a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like this content and that you've engaged with the material and motivates me to create more. If you feel like I have saved you some cash and you want to pass that along to my channel, I always love to see a super thanks. However, not required. And if you do not want to give me one, I will still keep creating. You are not obligated, and I just appreciate it when you do. Subscribe, share, and I will see you again tomorrow. I have a lot of good stuff next week. I have a Best in Glow episode on 2 orange candles from Kringle that 2 different viewers have requested. I have some single lighting the way episodes I'm going to be posting. I have my very first chop and chat that I'm going to post on Wednesday, which required a little bit of vulnerability. I'm a little bit nervous about posting that one because it's literally just me talking about my life and chopping wax, but I think y'all might like it given how much you liked my collection videos, so we'll see. But you're going to want to be here, so tune in, turn on notifications if you want to know right away, and I'll see you again in at least one video tomorrow. There might be 2. Until then, take care and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye, everyone.